or something.
No, my genius is not that big. I do trip over bananas, trust me. Okay, so like I was saying, guys, it's, you know, okay, so when I'm telling you to move by different sources, do you guys see how the visualization and the mindfulness work together? You see how those things work? I hope you see it, right? The physical aspects of system, I want you guys all to take about 6 weeks and do exactly what I'm going to show you right now. 6 weeks, and don't have any expectation whatsoever. Just do it for 6 weeks every time before you work out from now on for 6 weeks, okay? I'll show you now. Let's go. Stand up, or yeah, stay standing up. And start to move fingers and toes, okay? So just not your wrist, just your fingers and your toes. It can be just toes and then just fingers, or if you can do it all together, but you're wiggling your fingers, and then you can't see it, but my toes as well, right? And try to hold everything else really still. You know, don't move your ankles too much and don't move your wrists too much. You know, for the fingers, for the fingers, I just think of pianos, right? So I'm wiggling my fingers and my toes. And remember, they can go not just like, hold on, guys, hold on.
Sorry.
Yeah, how are you? Okay, Alberto, it's okay. Just mute yourself, man.
Okay.
So I'm doing like all kinds of movements, right? It's not just like this. It's all kinds of movements, right? I'm thinking like as complex a movement as I can with my fingers, as complex a movement as I can with my toes. Now the toes is really retarded because it just, sorry, it's a bad word. It feels like I can only do this, but try to do a little bit more with your toes. Because movement is movement. You have to understand movement in all parts of your body, not just the ones that you know. So fingers and toes, and then wrists and ankles. Okay, so you're gonna go to wrists and ankles now. Is there, you guys hear a sound in the back, or is it just me? Oh, Tom, it might be you over there. If you can mute it up, please. I think you might be off there. All right, so wrists and ankles. And it's very hard to move the ankles without affecting the knee, but try to just think about movement small enough to affect the ankle, but not enough to bother the knee. And then quickly go back to the fingers and move the fingers and the wrists if you can together. And the same with the toes and the ankles. So you're kind of allowing those, but not the elbow and not the knee. Now, elbows.
Okay, can
right?
I
So
show you what I tried?
elbows. Sorry, guys. I think Thomas left the camera on. Elbows, and then also knees as well, right? Also your knees as well. They kind of bounce between the two. Let me see if I can mute everybody by chance. See if I got that. Nope. Thomas, can you mute there, my friend? Can you mute that? Thank you. So elbows and knees. Shoulders and hips. Thomas, are you there? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please mute. There you go. And then your chest and back. So it's kind of like opening my chest, opening my back, opening my chest, opening my back. And then I start to kind of move this as much as I can. Then your stomach as well, suck it in, let it out, in, out. So you're creating this kind of movement in your stomach. Then open your arms, twisting, right? Twisting. So think of twisting out a towel, right? Try to feel these movements, not necessarily memorize them, but try to feel what it feels like when you're twisted. Because sometimes when we get ourselves into problem situations, we need to kind of understand the movement. And this is a twisting movement that sometimes will get us messed up. So now one right hand up, left hand out. So now it's a twisting motion through the arm and the leg. So you're kind of, for those of you that are around, there might be Saturday Night Fever. Right. You're rotating the hand and you're rotating the opposite leg, and then you can switch the hand. So you're literally twisting at a 45-degree angle to the body. Good. So this is something, what would it take? 5 minutes? Yeah, barely 5 minutes, right? A little bit more maybe. That's a great way to start to get to know the source of all your movements, because by you saying fingers, toes, wrists, ankles, you strengthen the mind-body connection. So tomorrow, when I tell you, throw out your fist, bring back with your elbow, you have a strong connection to this body part. You understand it. So this is, I chalk this up to sharpening the knife before you use it, right? If your body's a knife, it becomes very sharp if you do these things. It understands what's moving in what direction, okay? Let's try it now with walking, because you need to see it as well with walking. So I want you to take a few steps backwards, right? Just take a few steps backwards. And then close your eyes, take a few steps forward. And just do that over and over. Your eyes are open going backwards, and they're closed going forwards. And just a few steps, something comfortable, 2, 3. Now close your eyes all the time and just keep them closed, and take some steps forward, take some steps backwards. Try to open up your hearing. Try to relax your mind. Don't worry too much about hitting something. Very good, guys. So when you open your eyes now, we're going to do this again. When you open your eyes, I want you to change absolutely nothing about your gait or your walk. So if you walk nice and slow with your eyes closed, if you walk with great care and caution, When your eyes open, you walk the exact same. I want you to copy exactly the same way you walk with your eyes closed as when they're open. Nothing changes. Okay, absolutely nothing changes. So, and you can do it whenever you want. You know, take 10 steps with your eyes closed, 10 steps with your eyes open. But you should feel or like nothing changed just because your eyes open. Awesome, guys. Nice and straight. So now try to imagine something quite scary in front of you. Okay. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be crazy. It can be a kind of an odd person or a dog of some sort that you don't like. And I want you to very slowly back away from this thing that you is in front of you. And then stop and imagine that maybe a good friend or something wonderful, and you come forward. So this is quite normal, right? We go away from things we don't like or scare us a little bit, and we attracted to the things that we like going forward. Okay, just keep doing that over and over. You can change the things. It can be food. You know, food I love, I just go forward. The food I realize is cooking in the kitchen is not what I like, and I back away. It can be that. It can be people. It can be places. But it's clearly you go forward because you like it, and backwards because you're scared or you're fearful or you dislike this. Very good. Now the trick is going to be the opposite. Okay. So I want you to imagine something you like very much, so food or person you want to meet, but you slowly back away. And then something that you don't like or is kind of scary, but you go forward. Okay. So it's the opposite now. And don't judge it. Just put a good thought in your mind of backing away from something that you like or you want, and then going towards something scares you or you dislike. Pay attention to how things changed a little bit now when I flipped it. Awesome, guys. Good. So that little thing I shared with you there is a big metaphor that for myself personally made the biggest changes in my life. So it's not, I'm sharing something, it's not something small, it's quite big for me. The moment I said to myself, I'm gonna stop liking when people say nice things to me. Not that I don't like it, I like it, but I'm gonna start to like over love it because everybody likes when people say nice things about you. Everybody enjoys that, but some people overdo it. They like it too much. And I started to be more, I started to like more as people maybe criticize or said bad things. I wasn't mad, but I went towards them and I was curious why do you feel this way? Even to this day I have it. And it's amazing how when people say bad things or they think bad things or something, it's usually their problem more than yours, to be honest with you. Something that they misunderstood, or jealousy or something like this. I don't know what you want to call it. I don't want to tell you what to think about it, but it's very interesting. And there's an old Russian proverb like this, right? You learn more about those things than the good things. So I've trained myself over the years when something bothers me to go towards it, not to fight, but because I'm interested in why that was like this, like how this got to be. And when people say nice things or I don't hate it, but I'm very neutral about it. I'm like, great, thank you so much. It's wonderful. I don't feel the ego. I feel the gratitude. It's more gratitude that I'm happy that somebody else appreciated something. That's more for them joy. So it's very interesting because as fighters, as warriors, we need to go forward. That's going to be scaring us. So we're not going to like this because everything inside of us is going to tell us to go here. But we have to go forward if we want to protect our loved ones, if those that can fight. So you need to visualize different things, not crazy things. Don't visualize Braveheart. Don't go that far. Just something small, something, and for those of you that want to make these changes in your life, how many of you want to, I don't know, eat better or these are the little things like, oh, I need more vegetables, let's say. So the hardest part is going towards a salad, right? That's the hardest part, right? It's why are you laughing, Eric?
It's not hard. It's not hard.
I know it's not hard. I'm joking. I'm giving you the reality of what's out there. I get it. When you tell people, if you tell a bunch of hungry guys, I got a great salad for you, they're not going to like you too much, man.
That's dumb because salads are delicious.
I know, man. Listen, I'm not bugging you. I'm just telling you. I'm glad you found that. It's not like that for everybody. So it's those little things that matter more to me. Like it's like now I have my daughter. She's about to go off to university. The little things of the choices she's going to make now are going to be big. It's little choices. That's the accumulation of little choices that she's going to have to make that are going to have a big impact in her life. And you're trying to explain to them, it's not the big thing. It's the little things that are going to matter added together. So for me, when you think of something that maybe you dislike, but you train yourself to go towards it, not angry, but curious, it's a big thing. That bad thing or that thing that you fear or that thing that you dislike has more to teach you than the thing that you like. So it's good to be able to go towards it. It's really good, but you got to start slow. You got to train yourself like this. So when I hear good things, I back away, not angry. I just back away and I'm still listening. And when I feel fear, I kind of walk forward. That's my thing. Okay. So I want you to try that again, but try to think of different things. Like each one of you has something. Maybe one wants to eat better, one wants to exercise more, one wants to see things differently. You need to, whatever you have that's a problem now that you maybe dislike or you want to change, that's what you want to work on right now. So I walk away when something I feel good. I walk forward to something that I'm scared about. And I just keep thinking those things over and over. And my mind tomorrow will, like a magnet, oh, you're scared. And there you go, right towards it. Right towards it. Think of a police officer. Think about somebody who has to go towards something. There's nobody else. Imagine the police, you call the police officer and he hides behind you. Or you're a bodyguard and there's a problem and you hide behind the client. You can't do that. There's dogs out there that run towards the wolf. Other dogs run away. But those dogs, that you need them to go towards the wolf, right? So let's try it just for 2 minutes more, just for me. And then we'll kind of get into more of the martial arts stuff, right? More martial applications. This is one, but it's a softer skill, right? I really want you guys to know that when you're faced with a little bit of fear and discomfort, that you have the idea to walk towards it, at least walk towards it. Okay, let's try it. Just 2 minutes. Awesome, guys. I'll leave you to practice that later down the road. Now you can do the same thing with breathing. I'm going to cover it very, very quickly, but you can practice it on your own little. So stay nice and straight. And I want you to breathe in like wonderful things, like breathe in, nothing but positive. Think positive things like a beautiful ocean, beautiful forest. It's like you're breathing in nothing but goodness. And then inside, collect anything that you feel is negative, like some negative emotion or negative feeling, and blow it out. So for me, I'm breathe in, I think of like the ocean. And you just see all this beauty of the ocean there. I'm sure that a lot of you have. And then breathe out any worries or problems or fears or doubts you have, and just breathe them away from you, get them out of you. Think of all the things, the good things in your life, bring them in. Anything bad, blow it out. Okay. Now, one that's very specific, just very quickly, one's very specific. Sometimes in life, you see somebody that's suffering a lot, okay? Whatever, it can be whatever it is, right? And you care for them, or you want to help them somehow, but you can't in any physical way. It's hard, right? Especially if you see somebody in the hospital or somebody grieving for whatever reason. You have to know how to take, or at least as an idea, take their worries away from them or their fears and blow it away. So I want you to imagine somebody now upset that maybe you care about. And when you breathe in, take this upset or fear from them, but don't keep it. But I don't want you to have it. And right away, blow out. Don't feel sorry for them, guys. That's totally different. When you see somebody going through a bad time, don't feel sorry for them. Nobody wants that. Not me, not you, nobody wants that. But we want your support. And the support is you take some of that away and get rid of it. right? So imagine somebody suffering a little bit, breathe in, and with your mind, take some of that from them, and then blow it away. Good, guys. So a really good place to practice this stuff is unfortunately at a funeral. That's where I've had to practice it. So when you go to a funeral, and of course somebody's passed away, the people that are still alive, the close family that's there, they're suffering now because they're quite close with, of course, with the person that passed, and they feel quite a bit of grief. And for you to feel sorry for them only makes their grief more. It makes it worse. It doesn't help them. If you start crying, they start crying, everybody's crying, the whole thing is a disaster. It's already hard, so you don't want to make it over hard. You just want to keep it at a level. So when you see somebody grieving, you try to almost take some of their grief onto you and then blow it away. So you try to take some of it away. I know it sounds kind of heebie-jeebie, but I've seen it work. It's quite interesting, right? So the same way you can take in good things, you can take away bad things and get rid of them too. You need to understand this concept, right? It's very important. I don't want you to be sad. I don't want you to have pain, but sometimes if you want to help somebody, that's one way of doing it, okay? So practice this. Unfortunately, you have to wait for bad things like funerals, but they'll happen, I'm sure, inevitably. Okay, let's go. So martial arts, make a fist, right? So send your fist out, okay? Relax your elbow, bring it back. So very clearly, fist goes out, elbow goes back. So it's two motions, 1, 2. So you need to see it clearly, 1, 2. I bet you if you check, if you look closely, you sent it much better than you brought it back. Just watch. You're so positive, but coming back, it's like you didn't think about it so much. The same detail as it goes out, the same detail as it comes back. Out, and it comes back. Out, and you bring it back. So I shouldn't see a big accent on the punch. It should come back with the same care as it went forward. And try different angles, like a punch to the side, and then the elbow comes back, punch to the side. Sometimes a punch up, and then a punch back, and then an elbow down. So it didn't matter. This is a wonderful metaphor, guys, for life, right? We spend so much care going to work. We get there, but then come home, we just collapse home. But in many cases, you want to be the best person when you come home too. You want to be the best father or husband or best person. You don't want to come home and just come home. You want to come home and be amazing too, not just at work, or you want to be able to understand that the return is as important. Okay, now a different way. Send your shoulder forward, okay? Now your elbow back. So shoulder goes forward, elbow goes back, okay? Remember, the same care. So a lot of detail going forward, a lot of detail going back. A lot of detail going forward, a lot of detail going back. Shoulder forward, elbow back. Now the elbow can be low elbow, it can be a high elbow, doesn't matter. Now 3, shoulder forward, elbow back, fist forward. Shoulder, elbow, fist. Shoulder, elbow, fist. Try to match exactly my speed, guys. There should be no change. All 3 are the same. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. Forward with the shoulder, back with the elbow, forward with the fist. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, you don't, it's not necessary, but if you want to try this with different things, I'm just giving, you don't have to get it. I'm just using, I have it handy at my training gun. So if you can see it here for a second. So for me, I practice 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and you're looking at smoothly. So the idea is to smoothly do this, right? Same idea. 1, 2, 3. You're trying to find a smoothness to these movements, not a harshness, right, to them. Just so, even the same with a knife. If you carry the knife in your pocket, it's the exact same thing. 1, 2, 3, and you have it out. Or 4, it didn't really matter, right? Okay, let's try now because I want to show with the legs, right? So you kick with the foot forward, pardon me, knee forward, leg back, knee forward, leg back. Yeah, so a foot back, right? So knee comes forward, foot goes back. And again, the same care forward, the same care backwards. It's the exact same. 1, 2. 1, 2. Forward, back, forward, back. 'Good, guys. Now I want you to think about your foot as kind of 2 parts. You have like this part and then the heel, right? So I kick kind of forward with my feet, but I kick back with my heel. So like the heel of your foot, right? So you're thinking about forward with your lat toes, like the bottom of your foot, and backwards with the heel. Yeah, and remember the same care. The same care is done for the forward as it is for the back. Forward, back. Forward, back. Awesome, guys. Good. Pick up one hand. Pick up one hand. Kind of hold it. Okay. So it's like your hand is asleep. It's kind of dead. Yeah. And I want you to start to kind of throw it. Like, so this hand is like dead, like a sock, or like it's like nothing there. And you just start to move it, right? Down, up, left, right, right. You just start, yeah. So the other hand gives it the direction and the movement. And you can switch hands whenever you're ready. So the arm that's being thrown around should be limp. It's only the other hand that's pushing it. And the exact same thing with your legs. So if you see, I'm gonna like the leg's heavier. The leg's heavier than your arm. So you got to kind of hit it a little bit, give it a slap. So if I hit, then I hit down. I hit it up, I hit it down. Or I hit it up and I hit it to the side. Or hit it from the side, I hit it to this, I hit it down. So it's like, yeah, you become like a hillbilly, I guess. I don't know. Hey, bring your partner around and around. Yeah. And you start to kind of like, or you can imagine your legs quite tired, right? And you're helping it. So you give the direction to your legs with your hands. Good, guys. Stop for a second, take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Deep breath in. And then out. Okay, go to the ground for a second. So you're gonna do something very similar from the ground. I just want you to kind of touch your knees. So you can move any way you like on the ground, but your hands should always somehow be like on your knees, somehow. Yeah, it does. So it doesn't matter how you move, but like you always have your hands very close to your knees as you're moving on the ground. At the beginning, don't do anything but just touch them. Just you know, you always want to know where they are, so you just put them on your knees. Okay, guys, very good. This is really good to practice. Well, I always tell people when you're get out of the habit of putting your hands like this on the ground, it's better to always have them kind of with you like this, for many reasons, but it's a real, just get out of this habit of putting your hands on the ground like this. And I'll tell you why. It's kind of tactical. When you lay your hands on the knee, they almost disappear. When you take them up, they appear. But when I lay them here, see how they a little bit disappear, right? And it's very coy because they're super ready. Like my hands are super ready. So as I'm changing in different positions, I want you to make a punch and then bring it back. So you throw a punch, but it always comes back to the knee. It always rests on the knee. Okay, so you can move around, you're punching, and then it always comes back to your knee. So you move around, you throw your punch, and it comes back to the knee. Throw your punch, it comes back to the knee. And just move, and you always know that that's where you rest your hand. Awesome, guys. Come for just a quick second so I can explain. So why this is so effective is because this position isn't threatening. It's like I'm resting my arms, right? It doesn't seem like they're gonna punch, right? But what I'm doing is with my knees, is positioning my hand where I want it. Like the knees are like a tripod for a gun. So if you have, I'm just saying, imagine if this was a gun. It's like I want to position myself, right? So I create like you see my elbows, and you create a shooting position, right? My knees are creating the shooting position. The way I position them, that's the way they'll punch, right? So the knees are providing some stability, and they're hiding your intention. It's very sneaky way of punching. Like this, everyone knows you'll punch. But like this, they don't see the punch is not so visible, right? So it's quite good for you to understand how to punch like this, right? Yeah. So as you're moving, you're punching, and then you're always coming back, punching and coming back. You're never punching and then coming here. It's here. It's always back to the knees, right? Just try it a little bit. Try it a couple more times. Try to see how the knees are like a tripod. They're setting up the strike. Not too bad, guys. Really good. Okay. Put your hands, remember that, practice it. Put your hands on your knees now. And now your hands are going to be moving your knees. Okay. So they're going to, as you're moving on the ground, you're pulling, pushing. So it's like you're giving life to your knees. Right. So as you start to kind of move, what I like about this is I can add extra power pulling in or pushing out. So start to move on the ground and kind of push your kick forward. Yeah. Pull it in, push it forward. Pull it to the left, shoot it out. Okay, guys, come close. Okay, talk to me. How was it? Like, how did you see that? So there's two ways. I was showing you how to kind of have your hands resting on your legs, but they're not really resting. They're kind of aiming, right? When you look at a sniper, he looks like he's resting. He's not resting. He's aiming. Okay, it's a big problem. Okay, so the knees can kind of hide the intention of your arms, and when you're moving with your legs, I can also direct my knee as well, or direct my leg. Did you guys feel that? Did you feel how it's kind of sneaky? You get a lot of sneaky power like that, guys. You get a lot of sneaky power. You can make your kicks and your punches, you can make your punches more deceptive and more elusive, and you can make your kicks more powerful than people think because you're adding extra. You're adding like an extra push, and it's surprising for people to see that, right? It's very surprising. Did you feel that at all? Talk to me, guys. Did you feel it or no?
Yeah, I kind of felt it like more freedom in the movements on the ground, especially.
Sometimes it's if you're rolling with somebody or you're wrestling with somebody who's quite a bit faster or stronger, this is a way to kind of make up some of that difference, right? You can make up some of that. If we're excessively tired too, if you've been wrestling or training or you got hurt or something, it's a way of getting some of that back. And saving some energy, right? So saving some energy is critical.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Did you feel that at all, guys? Eric, did you feel that? Pierre, how about you? Did you feel it? It was okay? Yeah, so I mean, think of it, guys. If you saw somebody like this, right? It's quite, you didn't feel a threat. It's a very non-threatening position. But if you learn how to punch from there, it's quite good, right? It's a very natural thing. And for me, when people sit or they're on the ground, they sit there like they're never going to move again. Guys, you're going to move. It's the guys, don't sit like you're never going to move. You see people clunk and they're stuck. You need to sit in such a way like I'm ready to move. Like take a position now, like kind of find a position for yourself that allows you to move left, right, or up. Like, see, I'm exactly in the middle. If I need to get up, I can get up. If I need to go back, I get back. I find the position that I'm ready to do something. I didn't find the position where, okay, I'm not going to do anything. You need to find the way, that you're ready for something, right? It's kind of non-threatening, but at the same time, I'm ready. I'm not ready, right? So these positions really are, it's like I got one fist over here, I got one over here. It's you're ready, but you're not presenting a target back. You're not expecting something back. Anybody ever seen one of those hats that people wear with the siren on top of it? You ever seen one of those people wear it? It's like when people do this, it's like they have one of those on their hats. It's like punch right here, like I'm right here, right? Like you don't, I think one of the funniest things I ever heard at a seminar it was gun training seminar, and the instructor who's constant at the time goes, the best thing you can do is not look like the outline of the target people practice on. So it goes, don't look like that guy that that cutout in the gun ranges, the cutout of the person. Don't look like that guy, because people just shoot it instinctively because they go to the range. You have to look like something else. And then people won't shoot you. Look like a kid, look like a tree. Don't look like what they practice on, the outline of a person, right?
Target.
Sounds so simple, right? But what do people do? They look like somebody that, like that. So you're very profound. When you take these positions, it's not threatening, but you're really ready. If you've trained yourself to be ready here, this is your ready position, right? Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. So try to see what I was trying to show you. Certain things bring us forward, certain things push us away. In training, so we have to know those things in our life. In training, we need to reverse them. We need to go towards the things that scare us, and maybe back away from the things we're very good at, or that we need to kind of flip it a little bit, right? Think of a soldier's mentality. He maybe wants to go to war because to protect the country, but he also wants to come back home. They have to be equal. It's not, otherwise he'll just be dead. He won't be alive. You have to also want to come home, right?
Sure.
We all want to go to work and put in a good day, but we also want to come home good to our family. We don't want to just come home broken, right? So there's always this, you know, I know you want to work out. I get it. You want to sweat, you want to learn Systema, but you also want to find your own self too. Like, so there's like so yes, I want you to go down, but I want you to be better people, not just good Systema trainers. So there's this always this, it's, you know, this, but what about this? And you have to keep them equal. Otherwise it's no good, right? It's no good. You have to know how to hurt people, but you have to know how to heal them. You see, they're both important. And then the more I heal them, I feel more comfortable hurting them. See how it goes? Like, it's like kind of like this. So please keep so this idea of going forward and going back, it's very much like that. You have to keep them. Most people love to go forward and they forget about coming back, right? That's not a good approach to life. You have to consider the back too. You got to get back home. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'll post the video tonight or tomorrow, okay? Be well, everybody. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next week.
You too. Take care.
Bye, guys. Bye. Have a wonderful weekend.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye, everybody.